Hey guys, I know it's been a while since I've done videos. I have been, well, first of all, I look like this every single day because I'm trying to hit certain fitness goals. I'm planning a wedding. I'm sweating for the wedding. As you know, I wrote a book and I had to eliminate a lot of distractions, and the Tuesday morning calls and the Thursday evening calls that I do, it's been hard to find time to make these videos, but I know I need to do them more. So, as most of you know, for the last 10 years, I have been working with people who have criminal records, or people who have come out of prison, or people in recovery, and we help those people find ways to transform their lives based on what their needs are. And one of the things that I challenged somebody on the other day, I have an employee and he gave me permission to make this video. In fact, he told me to make this video. But I have an employee, I call him my little non-believer. He is atheist. And I think it's evident that I'm not. The book I wrote is 40 days, a 40-day guide to hearing God, title TBA. I don't know what title I'm going to land on yet, but it is a 40-day guide to hearing God. And one of the things that he had said to me is, Cheri, some people think the only way to heaven is through Jesus, and some people think you have to be baptized in order to be saved, and some people think you have to make a confession, and some people believe that you have to be buried, and he was like, and so I just said to heck with all of it. And I was just like, that's interesting, and I understand. But what about, all the different trainers at gyms? Some trainers say you have to walk before you lift weights, or you walk after you lift weights. Some people say you need to be low carb. Some people say you need to eat carbs for fuel. Some people say you need to have a high fat diet. And some say that you have to have a high protein diet. And so I said, but you still go to the gym. And he said, you know what? That is a great response. And he said, I have nothing to say to that. And I said, well, I was ready for your rebuttal, because I know what I would say, because there was once upon a time that I had my own set of beliefs too. I had the belief that I didn't need or want a 12-step program. It wasn't for me. I don't need it. And then that belief was challenged pretty quickly when I became suicidal and needed help and needed community. There was once upon a time that I thought churches only care about money. People are people, everybody's human. There was once upon a time that I felt like certain people in the church had hurt me. But then I had to challenge my beliefs and say, well, how many times did I go back to that bar? How many times did I go back to that guy? And so I told him, look, there's scientific evidence that going to the gym and eating right makes you lose weight. So that's why people do it. And I said, and truthfully, there's evidence that having a higher power helps people. I may not believe in medicine, or that, there was once upon a time I didn't believe in medicine for my mental health. I didn't think it was for me. I didn't think I needed it. But that belief got challenged as well. And there's evidence, whether I believe in it or not, there's evidence that it works for people. Whether I believe in a low carb, high protein diet or not, there's evidence that it works for some people. And so over the last 10 years of doing this work, I have really learned how to appreciate other people's perspectives and beliefs instead of judge them. I have learned that God or your higher power will talk to you in the way you need to hear it, I do not believe that there's only one set way to hear from God. I do not believe, and again, it doesn't matter what I believe because other people believe it and there's evidence for other people. But, well, the Bible says, you know, that I'm not into the beat you with a religious stick. And shame is not going to change somebody. And so just the way that some people believe that pineapple is delicious on pizza and other people don't. There's evidence that people like it. That doesn't mean you don't go buy pizza. And so in the world that we live in today, where everything is so like just all the polarized topics and the disagreements and the division, I would really like to challenge you today on what belief you're holding on to that maybe needs to be challenged. And this has nothing to do with your religious belief systems. This has everything to do with anything. There was once I'm not going to give too many examples because I'm going to make myself look dumb, but there's a lot of things that I used to believe that I look back at that old me and I'm like, oh, God, I know what was wrong with her. I know what was wrong with little Cheri. She just didn't want to be challenged. She didn't want to change. And it was easier to just decide that she believed in something so she could stick to her guns on that and just keep plowing ahead without dealing with the hard stuff. So anyways, this video got way too long. I hope it helped somebody. Bye.